the advantages of attending Eastern High School is all of the opportunities that you have as students to become college and career ready. You hear that term probably over and over because we are a college prep high school. We take it very seriously. And that's advantageous to you because when you leave here, you're ready to step on a college campus. You're ready to step into a job and hit the ground running. And the majority of high school graduates in the real world can't say that. Today, we wanted to bring in a prime example of a student, an Eastern alumni that has left here college and career ready and has hit the ground running. This student attended Eastern and graduated 2 years ago and went to UK, was accepted into the School of Business. He took the High School of Business program, which is one of many different opportunities that you have to learn about the real world and a career in the real world. Michael did High School of Business. He was also on the soccer team. He sang in Miss Nappy's chorus, did all kinds of things while he was here at Eastern. He was very active. And all of those things combined prepared him for the next level, which was going to college and succeeding in that environment. One of the opportunities that he had while he was at school was to participate in a competition. It was a venture startup competition. What does that mean? That means that you go somewhere and you might have a business idea and you sit down with some other like-minded people and come up with a business venture. And that's what they did. Over the course of a weekend, they came up with an idea. They won some money to fund that idea, and they've taken the idea and run with it. So Michael's here to talk to you about that because it can actually benefit you. As an Eastern alumni, we want to support him in his business ventures, but just as importantly, we want to give you the opportunity to take advantage of it and be on the ground floor of this great business venture. So I won't get too much into it because he explains it much better than I do. So with that, I would like to introduce Michael Lewis, CEO for Financial.
Everybody give a hand for Miss Adams. She's awesome. Alright, so like Miss Adams said, my name is Michael Lewis, and I want this to be exciting. You guys are all freshmen. Raise your hand if you're a freshman. So pretty much everybody. Awesome. So if you look in the back here, we have a camera. So actually the sophomores, the juniors, and the seniors are also listening to this presentation because we're going to talk about something that is extremely important and extremely exciting. So we're going to talk about college. I don't really know what college this is. I just found this on the internet, so it kind of looked like college, so I used it. But essentially we're talking about college and what it means and what is it. And I'm here for one main reason. And that is to help each and every one of you be able to think about college through a new lens. Be able to prepare for college both mentally, academically, but most importantly, financially. The finances of college is not something we really talk about a lot until our senior year. So to the seniors out there, they're voraciously applying for scholarships and applying to college and trying to figure out how they're going to fund college because it's extremely expensive, but it's also extremely important. So let's first talk about what is college and why does it exist. When you think about college, maybe you think about the campus life or Greek life, or maybe you think about sports when you watch UK or U of L play. Maybe you think about different opportunities it possesses, such as clubs and activities, or maybe you think about scholarships. Or maybe as freshmen it inspires excitement. Maybe it inspires fear. Because it's something that is a big undertaking. It's something that's extremely important. And for the juniors and seniors, I know some of them, as a junior and senior myself, I was very afraid because of college and the amount of work that went into it. But I'm here to talk about that. But when I think of college, I think of this. I think of jobs. The most important part of college and what college is and why it exists is to give you the skills and resources needed to get a job. And that's extremely important, and that's what college has always been about. But it's important to notice that that's changing. So higher education does not mean hired so much anymore. I was at a graduation recently, and I saw this on a cap. They just graduated college, and they put "hire me" on the cap. And that's because 82% of college graduates last year in 2014 did not have a job lined up in 2014 before they graduated from college. So it's kind of ironic to think that they just spent all this time and all this money gaining these skills and resources needed to get a job, but now they're having a hard time getting that job. So picture this. We have a lot of college graduates. You guys in many years will graduate with all these skills and resources, and then it looks like this. It looks like a big road. Everybody's on one road. It's very congested. Everybody's trying to figure out what job they're going to get, where they're going to go, how they're going to sustain their life. And everybody's on one road trying to differentiate themselves. So for our parents, it was a little bit like this. They competed with people locally, within their community, and they were told to get good grades. That would lead them to a great college. And that will, of course, lead them to a good job, with job security, with a good salary. But for you guys, it looks a little bit like this. There's a lot more competition in the workforce. And so you're told to get good grades, and that will lead you to a good college. But then what? How are you going to get that job? What is it about you that employers are impressed about? What is it that will land you that job with job security and a good salary? And a lot of this is because of this. The world is becoming flat, which means that instead of your parents who competed locally and nationally against their peers, you guys are competing against everybody in the world. Because of technology, everybody's connected, so that has a lot more competition, which also is exciting because this is an opportunity for you guys to differentiate yourselves and learn about skills and etc. So the reason I'm talking to you guys this morning, a big reason is because you guys are very young and you have an exciting road ahead of you. So I want to challenge you this morning to think about your education through a new lens, a new paradigm. I like to call it student capital. And I call it the 4.0 that really matters. So instead of focusing just on grades, I like to think of it as focusing on 1, your personal capital, 2, your intellectual capital, 3, your social capital, and finally, your financial capital. And this is essentially combining your book smarts with your street smarts, which has a better outcome in the future. So let's break this down. Your personal capital. This is focusing on who are you as an individual. What about you makes you special? What are your passions? What are things that you want to pursue in your life? And so over the next 4 years, it's extremely important to think about this and think about your educational experience, not only learning academically, but learning more about yourself and discovering who you are and what you're passionate about. The next is intellectual capital. And that's what most of you guys are doing right now in school. And your teachers are teaching you academia and learning about different facts and different processes of thinking and critical thinking. And this is more of the book smarts. So this is a part of what makes you competitive is what is your intellect? What do you know a lot about? Maybe it's fashion. Maybe it's engineering or business. Is what is your natural intellect? And then I want to encourage you guys to find that and focus on that, whether that's technology or business or whatever it may be. And then next is what I call your social capital. A lot of times maybe you'll hear, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And to an extent, that's true. So over the next 4 years, it's important to think about growing your social capital. And that is who knows you and who you know, which leads to opportunities, which may lead to internships, and etc. down the road. So it's important to think about expanding your social capital. And finally, that leads to what I like to call financial capital. And financial capital is combining all this together. It's who knows that you know what you know, which is when you combine your intellectual capital with your social capital. Who you know with what you know, and that leads to financial opportunities, which may be in the form of a scholarship, which may be in the form of an internship or a job down the road. So I think it's increasingly important to not think about your education not only about just getting good grades, but to think about it through these four lenses: your social capital, your personal capital, intellectual and financial capital. And that's actually the same way when you are going to look at colleges, and especially for the juniors and seniors, is to think about the same model for the university. What is the intellectual capital of the university? Why do you like that university? Is it because of the professors? Do they have the staff that you're looking for? What are the courses? And then the social capital is what kind of student groups and opportunities do they have? And then the financial capital, so what scholarships do they have? What career opportunities do they have? This is a great way for especially juniors and seniors right now to think about where they're going to go to college and to think about what's best. And then for you guys to start thinking about that very early. But everything I just talked about, I like to say, so what? What's the point of learning about college and all this academia if you can't afford it? College is becoming extremely expensive. And a lot of people, that scares a lot of people. So it's extremely important to not just talk about college and the grades, but let's talk about the hard stuff, which is finances, which is how much it costs. How are you going to afford it? So this is a fun graphic I like, where 2/3 of college students today are getting student loans, which is essentially borrowing money at interest, so that's more money, and then paying that back in the future. And so we want to figure out how to avoid that. So to break this down, a typical four-year education for an undergraduate is anywhere from $80,000 to $120,000, which is extremely expensive. And then if you couple that with a graduate degree, that's anywhere from $90,000 to $150,000, and all this depends on where you go. Is it public, is it private, out of state, etc. So actually, I go to UK. I'm a sophomore, majoring in finance and accounting, and so right now I'm paying about $22,000 a year to attend the University of Kentucky. At the end of the day, that's the bill that I'm given. And then let's say I was to get a graduate degree at the University of Louisville. That would be cost me around $35,000 a year just to get a graduate degree. So all this is extremely expensive and can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, it's an investment in my future, so I know that I want to get an education so I can get that job, sustain my life in the future. And so a lot of this is from tuition, food and housing, or if you do Greek life, all these things combined. And you can't just look at tuition, you got to look at all the cost. So, and if you look at this since 1978, tuition has increased about 1,200%. And to compare that to food has only increased about 200% over the same time period. So tuition is raising like crazy, which makes it extremely expensive. And like I said, 2/3 of students take out loans for college. There's currently $1.3 trillion of national student debt. And that's because of the cost of education and lack of financial literacy and a lack of funding dollars. So like I said, there's $1.3 trillion, but the income difference over the lifespan for a student is $1 million. So those who do attend college typically, on average, make $1 million more over a lifetime than those who don't attend college. So it's good to think about college as an investment in your future, an investment in society, and a return on your investment, which is $1 million over your lifetime. And so I want to now focus more on the scholarship industry, if you will, finding and receiving scholarships. So when I went to apply to scholarships my senior year, I noticed a trend. I noticed that when I went to apply to a scholarship, they first asked for my ACT score. And for those of you who don't know, the ACT is a standardized test that you'll take your junior year. And this test has a lot of weight on getting into college and on finding scholarships. And juniors and seniors out there have already taken their ACT or are about to take their ACT. And so this is simply a test. of your intellect, if you will. And so when I went to apply to scholarships, they said, give me your ACT. And by the way, if you don't have the proper ACT, you can't even apply to this scholarship. So I searched for thousands of scholarships, 95% of which I couldn't even apply for, I couldn't even compete for, because my ACT score was off by 1 or 2 points. And then I'm a Governor Scholar, so I was promised a full ride scholarship at the University of Kentucky. And they said, by the way, you have to have this certain ACT score. And so I'm 2 points away on my ACT score from a full ride scholarship, $80,000, 2 points on a test. And so I thought to myself, Michael, you're not defined by an ACT score. You're not defined by a number on a piece of paper from a test you took your junior year of high school. You're defined by who you are as a person, by your experiences. And I think that's true for everybody in this room. But unfortunately, the scholarship process is like this, where you have to provide your ACT, and then you'll fill out an essay or two. And that's supposed to encompass the true Michael Lewis. But I don't think it does. So that's why I founded Finance U. Finance U is a community-based platform that allows students like yourselves to actually build your own scholarship through the process of crowdfunding and other alternative methods. So essentially, we exist to help you access scholarship dollars. And so I mentioned the word crowdfunding, and it's important to define what crowdfunding is and how it works. Crowdfunding essentially is taking a large amount of people and having them give small amounts of money to a cause, or to a person, or to a project. And in this case, scholarships to students. So if you've ever been to church and you've passed an offering basket, that's crowdfunding. And a fun fact is the Statue of Liberty was given to us as a gift, but we didn't have the money to construct it. So the community actually crowdfunded dollars. So a lot of people gave small amounts of money, and we raised the money to put together the Statue of Liberty. So crowdfunding has been around for a long time. And so what we're trying to do is take the power of crowdfunding and combine that with scholarship money and students. So like I said, we exist to help students access scholarship money. We want to help you raise money for your education so you can afford it. And next is we want to become essentially a one-stop shop, an environment where you can go to raise money, you can access external scholarships, you can learn about college and what college you're going to attend, and things like that. So let me talk you through kind of how it works and how it can benefit you. Essentially, you go and you sign on. Let's say I create the Michael Lewis Scholarship Fund, and I'm a sophomore, and I want to raise $2,200 or so. So I simply go and I put that information in. I put a little bit of personal information in, such as my current school, my grade, my age, so we can filter through students, so donors can find students to give to. And then I go to my profile, where I don't put in my ACT only. I now have the power and the opportunity to say, this is who Michael Lewis is. This is the true Michael Lewis. Michael Lewis, here's my work experience. Maybe here's a video of me playing soccer or playing guitar. Maybe it's an art project I did. I want to be able to share those things with the community and share those with my donors. So I'm not defined by an ACT score. I'm not defined by a GPA. I'm allowed to encompass who Michael Lewis is as a person. And that's what you guys can do too. Maybe you're passionate about a sport, or you're passionate, maybe you're an artist or a web developer. That gives you the power to do those things. Next is sharing it. So you can share it with social media or friends and families. And maybe it's Christmas or your birthdays or graduation parties. It allows you to capitalize on opportunities for people to give you money. So maybe it's instead of grandma giving you a socks or underwear at Christmas, grandma's giving you the gift of education. So that's how you share, and then growing that through things like monthly donations, or like I said, events such as Christmases or birthdays. And so to show you a little bit about the power of Finance U, here's an example. If you signed up as a freshman and got 4 people to give $5 a month, 2 people to give $10 a month, 1 person $15, and if you just raised at Christmas or birthdays or graduation parties, $150 a year. You'll raise $3,200 over the next 4 years, which is excluding external scholarships that you get. It's a great way to raise money for college at a young age, which speaks volume about who you are as a person. And the most important thing is that every single dollar is transferred directly to your university when you attend it, so the donors know that those funds are being used for education only. That's extremely important when getting donors to donate to your scholarship fund. And so a little bit, this is that FinanceU is for high schoolers, it's for college students, and then on the back end, for the donors is the first tier we like to call is the friends and families, which is the crowdfunding. The second tier is we're going to be bringing external scholarships onto FinanceU so you guys can crowdfund, but you can also apply to external scholarships on that subjective and objective basis, so everybody can compete for those. And so our goal at EHS is to help you guys raise $1.2 million over the next 4 years in new scholarship money. And we're going to do that by combining the Middletown and Greater Louisville community to help donate to your scholarship fund. And we're going to bring different tools to help you guys raise money for college. So for students, to kind of recap, we want to help you guys raise money. We want to bring external scholarships to the site so you guys can apply to those. And for the donors, we want to help them have the opportunity to donate money to you guys and see the return on investment. And then those funds are transferred directly to the university so they know that those funds are being spent on education. And by the way, it's free to use. There's no cost to pay on the front end. We don't charge you a fee. There's no hidden fees. The only way to sustain our operations is on a commission on the back end. So there's absolutely no barrier to entry for you guys to use it. Everybody in this room can sign up and use FinanceU. And like I said, coming soon, we'll bring external scholarships to the site, different crowdfunding opportunities, and then college planning tools, and bringing colleges to the site so they can recruit you guys and give you guys more money to attend college. And so to sum it all up, we want you guys to focus on thinking about your education through the lens of student capital. Like what I call the Real 4.0 is developing your full selves so you can be competitive in the workforce. And then to start thinking about college now, where are you going to go? How are you going to afford it? And understand that FinanceU is here to help you guys raise money and help you guys plan for college. And actually we're going to be launching nationally this October. So we're extremely excited. Today we're actually going to give you guys an opportunity. We're going to be giving out 3 scholarships today. And so what I would like all you guys to do is you have tablets, so feel free to get out your tablets. You can go to financeu.org, and essentially we just have an information page right now. And you can go to financeu.org and put in your name, you can put in your email, and at the end of the day, we're going to be doing a random drawing. So we're going to pick 3 people, and you guys will receive scholarships if you guys are chosen. So it's a great opportunity to apply for your first scholarship today as a freshman, and sophomores, juniors, and seniors are eligible too. And then if you guys, later on, we gave you a handout, so feel free to sign on to our social media, Twitter and Facebook, where we're going to have other scholarship opportunities and things like that for you guys. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for your attention. We look forward for FinanceU to help you guys out over the next few years. Thank you guys.
There might be a 15-second break. It should be cut.